Kita niyo yung chat teach?
Yes.
Okay po. So, I'll remove us lang po sandali.
Iisip ko saan ko lalagay yung device ko eh. Hi, a peaceful day to all. I'm teacher Chinky, one of the directors of Creative Learning Path School. Um, what do you mean, pasok na ako? Ay, okay. A peaceful day, everyone. Ay, no pa. A peaceful day, everyone. I'm teacher Chinky Carandang, one of the directors of Creative Learning Path School or CLP. I have been working with Teach Peace Build Peace movement for around 5 years already, and I'm here today to be with you to talk about basic counseling. What are we going to do when we have concerns with students in school? I'm excited to work with you. Are you ready? So we will start with basic peace education counseling and psychosocial care. In this session, you will learn some strategies and basic steps in counseling a learner who is in need. Before we begin, I'd like to ask you, as an educator, what is your why? Why are you here? Why are you making an effort to better understand your learners? Write it down in your notebook or journal. Highlight it, decorate it, as long as it's written there and you will remember it. You can pause this and work on it. Are you done? You might be asking, why is this my first question? According to Simon Sinek, the importance of knowing your why is to know your purpose. This is what drives you as an educator. It is like your North Star, and when being an educator becomes difficult, you always go back to your why to remind you why you are here. First things first, we need to clarify. A child that misbehaves is not a bad child, but he or she may have made bad decisions. A child that misbehaves is a child asking for help. Help is not punishment. We are here to guide and to help the child feel that he or she belongs and is a welcome part of the school community. Okay, so let's start with bias. Bias is a personal and sometimes unreasoned judgment. It is prejudice. It's a preconceived notion or opinion that may have stemmed from our culture, from our religion, or from how we grew up in the family. So, why this? One of the first things we have to do if we counsel our students is to remove or set aside our biases. In the past sessions with the other formators, you were introduced to active listening. Basically, we need to listen to what our students are saying without prejudice, without any judgment. As teachers, we are always solving problems. But know this, at times, our students just need someone to talk to unload their feelings. And if we choose to be the one to be there for them, we have to do this without any bias. Okay, I will ask you, and you can write this down later or you can pause this. But I'd like you to reflect and think about your biases. Identify your personal biases, list it down. Don't worry. We all have our biases based on our culture, religion, and family. I am asking you to list it down in order for you to be aware and know if your biases are getting in the way of helping your student. When your students start sharing with you, you might not agree with them, with what they are saying, but you are not there to judge them. You are there to listen. You have to create a safe space where your students know that they can trust you. I often say this to my students when I had an advisory class. I will keep your secrets. I will not tell anyone unless I think that you are in danger, then I will inform your parents. I learned this from our guidance counselor and it seemed to work. It did not deter my students from sharing. Okay, now think of the person that you go to when you are feeling down or having problems. Write down the reasons why you go to them. What are the traits of your go to person when you are down, when you have problems? Think about it. When I want to unload, I go to somebody who can empathize with me, who I know will not judge me and will just listen. I will also go to someone who can bounce ideas with me, not tell me what to do, but help guide me to find the solution. What about you? You can list it down, you can describe the person, you can pause this video so you can think about it and just go back later. Okay, when you're done writing the reasons, this is also what your students are looking for. I just wanted to point that out because what we need is also what our student needs. Let's try to be in their shoes. Let's watch this video. After watching, write 3 takeaways you got from the video. Isn't it great if all our kids, if all our students can have the belonging mindset? But how do we do this? First, we have to develop a relationship with them. So here are some tips. And before you know any counseling can happen, you first have to build a relationship with your students. How can we do this here? So, first, show genuine concern. Children are very sharp. They know that if you genuinely care for them, you don't have to talk to them 24/7, but just check on them and ask them how they are, how their day went. Next, eye contact. Showing you genuinely care means having eye contact. If you chat with a student and you are on your cell phone texting, what message are you telling your student? Are you telling them that you care or that you're busy? Does it show care and concern? Making eye contact shows you are interested in what they are saying. Ask questions. Show interest in what they are doing by asking questions. Ask questions about what is important to them. It may be about a talent, family, friends, interests, K pop, anime, movies, and the like. It may be awkward in the beginning, but when you do this often, you start building a relationship and it becomes more natural. Next, listen. This is not about you, it is about your student. Use active listening. While listening, mentally note down things that seem important to your student so that you can talk about it more in your next conversation. This is also an opportunity for you to identify red flags if you feel that your students have some concerns. Be non judgmental. While listening, we cannot judge. Remember, set aside your biases. You can't say you're not supposed to do that, or that's bad, or you have to do this and that. Saying all these things will easily turn off your student. I'm not saying that you become their best friend, but there is a time and place for everything. Be open. There may be an age gap, but you have to have an open mind when interacting with your students. You might learn from them. Remember, being different is not equal to being wrong. Be consistent. Developing a relationship takes time. Be consistent with how you relate with your students. Your demeanor cannot change overnight. You cannot be open and warm and then the next day suddenly cold. The next time you see the student, it will send mixed signals to your students. When we are able to do all these, we then are able to give the student a sense of belongingness where they feel they can make connections and where they can feel they are in a safe place and can identify you as their ally. Okay. I just want to share a simple technique when your student has an anxiety attack. This is a grounding exercise that can help them focus on the present. When somebody is having an anxiety attack, you cannot tell them to just stop. You have to keep calm, be there, make sure the environment of the student is a safe area. So, this grounding method, staying grounded using your five senses. So, the first thing you have to do is ask the student five things you can see in the room, and then four things you can feel, three things you can hear, two things you can smell, one thing you can taste. The objective of this is that it helps calm the student, and also it brings back the student to the present and not focus on the anxiety. Because before being able to talk to the student, you need to calm the student down first. You cannot expect to do anything when the student is still having the anxiety attack. Okay, next. In phase one, you were building a relationship. And now, when you were informed, okay, this student misbehaved or has a problem, what do we have to do? So, when a student is referred to you, you have to make an informed assessment. What does this mean? You have to gather information, investigate the issue, find out the whole story, identify the problem. At times, the untoward incident is the effect of the problem, not the problem itself. So sometimes the incident, if it was a boxing incident, that might have been the cause, but that is not the problem. Okay. So I'd like to discuss with you the possible root causes of the misbehavior. So first, it needs not being met. What if there are things that the student can't verbalize but has needs but cannot ask for help, or there are medical issues, developmental issues, or the children may have special needs and they have a hard time verbalizing? Relationships are not in place. So maybe the student wants to be friends with the others, but the relationship is not in place, and that's where the conflict arises. Seeking attention from classmates and teachers. You know, we all want to belong, students want to belong. So maybe the manner of seeking attention not is unacceptable, and maybe that was the issue, but you have to think that maybe they just need attention and give it to them in the proper time. Power needs. The student wants to be the one in control. Lack of confidence and skills. A defeated child will do things because that are sometimes unreasonable because of the lack of confidence. I had a student before who said, because he had special needs, that he'd rather be a jerk or he'd rather be mean than be told that he's not smart or that he has special needs. Curriculum related issues. Maybe there is a problem with the different subjects and the student may need help. Classroom environment. Is the classroom inviting? Does it promote a sense of belongingness? Testing boundaries, especially in the beginning. The students will really test you. What are the limits? And I have to remind you, they need limits. Bad behavior works for them. For example, they wanted something and then they cried and they got it. So they will do it again and again because they got what they wanted. So these are probable root causes of the misbehavior. So it's really the student wanting to belong, wanting to be part of it. So we have to analyze what is the cause of the misbehavior. Phase three is establishing mutually agreed upon goals and objectives. You have to let your student be part of the solution. Remember, it is their lives that we are dealing with. Why make them part of it? First, More likely, they will be compliant and involved. Next, they will feel more invested because they are part of the solution. Next, he or she will feel, like I've said earlier, part of the solution. They have a take in it. And then, when we do this, they learn about accountability and you help them solve their own problems. So, how do we do this? First, set a goal. For example, the goal is to be able to make friends in class. So this is what you want to accomplish, right? Next, you think of an objective. So this is measurable. You have to, it has to be more specific. One is to be able to make at least one friend in class by the end of the term. Excuse me, by the end of the term. So again, I'll repeat, to be able to make at least one friend in class by the end of the term. And then you can be more specific. You can add, say hello to one classmate today on the first day of school. Second day, you can add a script. What do you want to ask this classmate? So on and so forth. Until you have to check by the end of the term, was the objective achieved? Was the goal achieved? Okay. So phase four, so you made your goals, you made your objectives. So now you have the implementation plan. So first, the implementation plan is a plan that you and your student work on together. It is designed to prevent, intervene, or address unhealthy behaviors and practices. So you have to work with the student. This, you have to identify what needs work on, and let your student also identify and share his or her thoughts. The implementation plan identifies who will perform the activities, where the activities will occur, how frequently they will occur, how they will be carried out, and when they will be carried out. So, in this plan, you can see that it's really specific, and you have to identify who is in charge. Will it be the student? Will it be you? Will it be the class advisor? Will the other content area teachers be included? How long will this be? You have to think of that with your student. Implementation activities are designed to help individuals rethink risky behavior, work through problematic issues, address unhealthy lifestyle practices, learn new skills, and build strengths. So, this is where you work with your student because, yes, you do have a plan, but you have to talk about it. So, how will you solve it? What can be done? Ask suggestions from the students. Ask the student, what do you think you can do? How do you think you can avoid this? Or what are the reasons why you are doing this? And then step by step, try to solve the problem with your student. Implementation activities can include counseling, crisis intervention, training and education, supportive services, concrete services, and constructive use of free time. So with this, you also have to know what can the school offer. Is there a guidance counselor that the student can go to? Or will the student have sessions with you? It can be once a week, twice a week, it depends. Or what else does the student need to do? Does the student need to stay after school? Is the intervention only in school? Do you also have to work with the parents? So you have to think about those activities. What activities will you be including? Okay, now it's your turn. Think of a student's misbehavior that happened in the past. So think about it. Think of something, oh, I think I could have done better. I could help my student more. And then use the four phases that we talked about to make a plan to help the student transform to become a welcome member of the class. So you can pause the video first and make the plan from phase 1 to phase 4. Are you done? Great. Then you can review it by checking the four phases again. To end, I'd like to share this quote since I feel that this is relatable to you as teachers in so many levels. Remember, it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to start again. It's okay to say no. It's okay to rest. It's okay to let go. It's okay not to be okay. Remember to self care. You cannot care for others if you do not care for yourself first. It's okay not to be okay. Be well and have a peaceful day. Thank you.
Thank you, Teach. Okay lang po ba, Teach, mag-add tayo ng short outro? Thank you so much.
Short, ano?
Short outro po. Thank you for listening to today's session. Yung mga
Ah,
ganun. Thank you po.
okay. Sige. Thank you for listening to today's session. I hope you learned something. I've enjoyed sharing with you. And, if you have any questions, just let us know. Thank you and have a great day ahead of you. Be well. Peace.